our kids up. If there's any young people young at heart, and let's be honest, we are all young at heart a little bit today, right? Come on up, Owen. You don't have to. Yay! Look, we've got some young, and we've got a Snoopy. We have a Snoopy. Mika, thanks for joining us. So, and you all might want to be in a place where you can also look at the screen. Although you can see the screen, this is magic. When you're up here, you find out that there's actually a screen back there too. Did you all know that that's the secret tool of how we know what's going on up there? So, Peanuts and Snoopy is one of the things. How many of you all know Peanuts? Do all the kids know Peanuts? Do you know Snoopy? You know who Snoopy is? Okay. So we're going to think, now I want you all to think about Peanuts and who your favorite Peanuts character is. You can all shout it out. Who's your okay. Okay, there's some pretty good diversity here. Peppermint Patty. Yeah, Karen and I are wearing our Birkenstocks in honor of Peppermint Patty today. So we're going to have Carrie and I are going to do a quick refresher of the characters and their key personality traits. Now, you may agree or disagree with these personality traits, but this is a kind of what character are you experience here, okay? So, and see which ones they might go with.
So, Charlie Brown is our first one, obviously. We already heard the ode to Charlie Brown. You don't give up, even when confronting the fact that odds are overwhelmingly against you. You worry, you doubt yourself, but most importantly, you keep trying in spite of all of this. You remain loyal to your friends, even when they don't treat you as nicely as they should. Are you listening, Lucy?
Okay, the next one, and you all get to decide at the end which one you all are. The next one is Snoopy. Snoopy, if you identify with you are a daydreamer and a show stealer, seriously, Snoopy used to be just an average beagle, but over the course of the comic strip and the animated specials, he evolved into this great dude that fantastical adventures fueled only by his imagination. If you picked Snoopy, you may also have more than one side to your personality. Cool one day, the Red Baron the next. So your signature happy dance. By the way, we'll be doing that after the sermon.
Me? Yeah.
Yes, you too.
Woodstock. Are you also a bird who can't fly well? Like metaphorically? If your favorite character is Woodstock, you may be similarly working to overcome what seems like a disadvantage to some, even if it doesn't bother you much. Woodstock's bird speech is only understood by Snoopy, and there's something profound there. If you've got one friend who gets you, that's all you really need.
Linus Van Pelt. Well, if you identify with Lucy, you know what you want and you're not. That's either depending on who you're around. Lucy is a complex character. When you think about it, she's nurturing sometimes, a big sister type who likes to dispense advice from her pop-up psychiatrist stand, but she's also sometimes a big bully, someone who keeps yanking the Charlie Brown.
All right, next up we have Linus Van Pelt. If you picked Linus, you probably believe in the unseen forces in life. Linus is the Peanuts gang's spiritualist, and nothing can shake his faith in the magic of his security blanket or that the great pumpkin will eventually make his appearance. And while Linus is one of the younger members of the group, he occasionally says some pretty deep things. Maybe you're wise beyond your...
Peppermint Patty. Peppermint Patty, the resident jock, those of us who were queer when we were young and needed a role model and didn't know why we liked her. Oh, was that just me? No? Oh, okay, sorry. An unabashed tomboy and a terrible student. You may not be any of those things specifically, but you may share Patty's admirable comfort in being who she is. It doesn't seem to bother her that she doesn't fit traditional gender roles or that she doesn't value school as much as society tells her she should. She's just happy being Patty, and she is 100% Patty all the time.
Oh, yeah, here's mine. Yeah. Sally Brown. Aww. You're that kind of free spirit who expresses your freedom by plunking yourself in front of the TV. Yes. Of all the Peanuts kids, Sally has the most to learn about life, what words mean, but that doesn't stop her from speaking up anyway and using those words incorrectly. Who's willing to pursue sweet Baboo tirelessly, even if he or she doesn't reciprocate.
Marcy. Who remembers Marcy? Yeah. This is bringing it all back for you all, isn't it? Marcy, you are smart. Book smart, for one, but also clever enough to know that you're better off pairing with someone who complements your personality. One of Marcy's defining characteristics is her devotion to Patty, whom she calls Sir. Seriously, how did I not get this when I was young? Like, how did I not see this? Patty's brawn nicely balances out Marcy's braininess. They make a good pair. If Marcy is your pick, also appreciate how important it is to find your Patty in life. For those of us who identify as lesbians, Marcy and Patty can be our guides.
Schroeder. And you. You're the artiste. You have a creative passion that you use to express yourself in ways that words can't. Schroeder may only have a tiny toy piano, but he uses it to play Beethoven. That's profound. Not being limited by the hand you're dealt. Instead, making beautiful music with whatever happens to be handy.
Pigpen. Ow. Yes. Okay, so some of you who pick Pigpen, you pick the character whose sole defining characteristic is that he's constantly dirty, right? We don't need to get into your relationship with basic hygiene to understand Pigpen, but let's think this one out. Pigpen's constant filthiness repulses the other characters, but he himself doesn't seem to mind. Maybe that's a plus. Caring what others think and completely owning your own stankness. Is that you? Well, maybe you could take an occasional shower anyway.
Franklin Armstrong. When Franklin was introduced in the comic strip in 1968, it was pretty controversial to have a person of color in an all-white comic strip. Franklin and Charlie Brown met on the beach, and Charlie Brown asked him to spend the night after building sandcastles with him that day. Franklin was laid back and did not have any of the anxieties or obsessions we see in the other characters. He does value his family, speaking often of his father who was in Vietnam and of his grandfather.
So now, what character are you? Which one are you all? Anyone up front? Do you know which one is your character? Which one's yours, Micah? Schroeder? Schroeder? Do you have a Peanuts character that you identify with most? The dog, Snoopy. Snoopy, what about you, Owen? Charlie Brown's teacher? What? Charlie Brown's teacher. Can we all do Charlie Brown's teacher? Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, no one can understand them anyway. That's awesome. Anyone that you identify with? No, all of them, any of them. Well, thank you all for participating in this. And as we're talking more about the gang, you can see them come to life in more profound ways. Thank you, and you can join your families back at your seats.